Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we're going to have a look at the October newsletter. Let's see what they prepare for us for next month. And they always start with a new unit, so let's talk about that immediately. We have the unit for October 13, Lopobia Evelyn. I'd say there is no surprise here. They mentioned the unit was going to be from the Urek Masino spin-off, and the unit was shown to us on episode 1. On episode 1, we only have Urek, Princess, already in the game, so no question there. We have Lopobia Evelyn. We have the Ranker that is teaching the Fisherman class, but I don't remember his name. I don't want to remember it. It's just an extra. We don't care. Then we have the guy with the white short and the cross on top. No idea. Like also his name, I really don't care about those extras. And then we have the guy that was added to Urek team. Also in this case, no idea about the name. So she was the best choice they could have made. They picked her, perfect. So that's cool. Also design-wise, I think she's looking great. So that's good. Now, in terms of what I expect from this unit, in terms of like color and maybe a role, I would say green, 95% certainty. In terms of role, I don't know. The two that I think are more like that could potentially end up being the actual roles would be support or mage. I would prefer support because I like supports more in general as a type of unit. And since I think she's gonna be green, I don't want another DPS. We have Arya, we have Princess. Then for the third team, because now we obviously have to make 3 teams for trial, I'd rather use Chomray and have Evelyn be able to boost his damage. I don't know, with reliable active skill cooldown reduction, for example. It would be really great to have a green Yura, for example, with the basically 50% active skill cooldown decrease. That would be great. That would be great. And then something else. So she needs to be able to keep the frog alive, and she needs to be able to decrease the active skill cooldown of Chomray. That's, I think, what I would like to see in green and what I think could actually happen. So that's my best hope. If they decide to make her a carry and give her, I don't know, the major role, it would be fine, but at the same time, I don't know. I would prefer a unit that can make Chomray a reliable carry. They are in the same family, after all. So I would love that, but I don't know. So hopefully that's gonna happen. Let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to, like what you hope she's going to be. But that's my hope. Then we have the other 2 units. Now we have the guy on the left. We give no shit about, but we're going to mention that we have no confirmation who that guy is gonna be. But let's talk about that in a second. And then we have the girl in the middle. Great design, fire. Okay, I think we can all agree. The unit that she seems to resemble the most is Lopobia Rashut. So again, another Lopobia family member. Would be 2 Lopobias in the same month, which is pretty fire. And if they decide to make her green, that would be crazy. That would be a really good buff to green. They definitely need it. And I would say she would fit mage 1,000 times better than Lopobia Evelyn. So that's also why I would expect Lopobia Evelyn to be support and her to be a mage. And I would be fine with that. Because, I mean, look at her. Yeah, okay, good, great. And I will also show you the wiki page that you see the resemblance. There are wings, blood all over, okay, fine. And also the hair, kind of similar. So she can kind of fit that theme. If we look also here, definitely design-wise, there are a lot of matches. I would say there is a very good likelihood that she is the actual unit that's going to be released at the end of October. So that's amazing. That's the best guess. I still hope, again, she's green, and I would say green mage. That's my guess. She could end up like Hugo, so like of a different element compared to the family head. Could happen. Maybe purple. Could be. I have no idea. But I hope for it, like for her to be green, at the very least. So yeah, that's what I expect. And I don't know why they would make her SSR plus and then have Lopobiaju be an SSR. I think that's completely dumb because both of them are branch heads of the Lopobia family. So it is a weird decision, but what can we do? Then we have the guy here, and from what it seems, because there is a data tower also at the end of the month, from what it seems, it could be Jinsung. So XSR plus Jinsung. That's what most people are expecting, and I mean that unit is definitely an XSR plus. So the one that makes the most sense would be him or Asensio. A little bit, there is a bit of resemblance, or I don't want to say. I would love to say Evan because I want XSR plus Evan, but that's not Evan. So yeah, Jinsung is the most likely. Also because we're going to see down that there is the sort of Halloween event that was the like the murder on the train kind of event where Jinsung was part of. So it wouldn't make sense for it to be Jinsung. So I don't know what to expect from a Jinsung in that case. They usually turn the unit more to the utility front, which would make sense because there is no way to make the guy deal actual damage unless they add a max HP scaling in the revolution. So I would expect them to take his kit and bring in more utility, maybe a lot of. It would be good to have an HP recovery block that is reliable, to have, I don't know, some way to keep him alive because that's also going to be a challenge. Even though with all the supports we have nowadays, it could be a bit easier. But for people that are free to play, they don't have access to all supports. It is still kind of tricky. So having some self-sorability definitely makes it easier to build teams around. So that's what we could expect. That is the most likely one. If you have any better guesses, guys, leave them down below in the comments. So here we have spin-off teammate update. We have Evelyn. I don't know why they, at times they don't had the Lopobia part or the family name. Other times, like for Kunagero, for some reason, they actually only left the family name. That was a decision that was weird. Like at the very least, for Kunagero, they should have just wrote Kunagero. Maybe even Kunagero Agnes, like the whole name. Only Kun is fine because he's called Kun by his friends, but game-wise, it's a bit, I don't know. Could have been more complete, but it's okay. So this is the spin-off teammate. There is no mention of collab this time around. So I don't know if we can expect a banner like Princess in terms of like how cheap it is. If it's going to be like an anniversary banner, I would not expect that. Because for the other one, they kind of told us. For this one, not really. So I'm expecting a standard new banner for an SSR Plus unit. No banner that will cost you like 400 black market tickets to max the unit. That's a shame, but it is what it is. Then we have on October 13, the Data Tower rerun for Ice Spear Kunagera. That's it. That's just a rerun. It's the SSR one, so it's a bit cheaper than the XSR Plus version. And that's it. Actually, with the changes they made to the XSR Plus, I'm not too sure anymore that they are that much cheaper, but usually they should be. So it's a good unit to have. Is not a must-have as when it was released, I'd say, but it could come in handy, especially if you don't have a lot of options. Your account is quite fresh. Is a nice addition. Is going to help you out. If you already have basically every other unit, is not mandatory. It's nice to have him for collection purposes, but it is not a must-have unit anymore from my point of view. Then we have a very important thing here, the ignition weapon renewal or revamp or buff, whatever you want to call it, for Sundance and Sela. Looking forward to both of them, to be honest. Sundance, it's not that used anymore, especially with L and with the fact that the best users of Sundance are Kaiser, the two Kaisers, basically. Everyone else is running L now. And they need to give Sundance some sort of ability, similar to L at the very least, and then boost way much the damage portion. Like the 20% defense ignore maybe should be buffed a bit. Maybe they could even go a step further. It would be insane, but it could be also cool. And adding to every projectile that is fired like a 1% max HP damage. Because a unit like Kaiser is gonna fire a lot of projectile per basic attack. So it would be like a 10% max HP damage per basic attack for Kaiser. That's a shit ton. So that's probably not happening, maybe at 0.5%. So they could add max HP damage in the actual ignition weapon. It would be insane damage wise. I have no idea if they would actually do it. For Sela, that set is basically not usable unless you just started out, and that comes in handy to get you to the point where you cannot run it anymore because resistances don't work. So it is a decent set in the very, very, very early stages. So you create the account today, you run a Sela, it's working, it's helping. After maybe a week, then all of those Sela sets are worthless at the moment. They definitely need to buff it in a way that helps with long fight, keeping the unit alive over a long fight, not a one-shot thing like Barry, because Barry is more for units in theory that just need to survive either for the very beginning of the fight or that have no other way of sustaining themselves, that they just need to protect them from a one shot, or for ranged units that could eventually be hit, and then you have Barry as sort of a emergency button or whatever, emergency solution. Sela should be helping units that are close range, that are always in the fight, those tanks that you want to keep alive, that have some means to survive, but they are not strong enough at deficit, and Sela should integrate those units. I don't know how they could pull it off. Maybe add a damage taken decrease to this set, maybe like an 80% damage taken decrease when at max stacks. Then every time an enemy dies, you lose like 20% or 15% or something like that. It could be reasonable, I think. So you start the fight, you have 80% damage taken reduction. A lot of tanks can get away with it. Not maybe a 1000 deficit, but they can tank at that point. They can definitely survive. So I would like to see that type of change. If you have any other ideas, guys, let us know in the comments, and let's move on to the next point. Here we have this spooky festa on October 29, the Jinsung and Express Train murder. So that's why Jinsung is likely the XSR Plus unit. We don't know for certain, but is the most likely. And nothing else. Okay, some event, the special boss battle. Okay, then we have the event schedule here. We have October 13, Evelyn, Data Tower for Spear Kunagiro, Terrestrial Facility preset system. This could be good, but at the same time, it's crazy expensive. I think it's more for whales to have different like Terrestrial facilities based on the content. For free-to-play players, I don't see this being useful. At the very least, for the first 5 to 6 months of the account, probably. After that, you might have resources that will allow you to build a second tree. But from what I could see from the dev notes, you need to basically start a new tree from scratch. It's not like a copy of your existing one and then you make some changes. It's a brand new one. So you have to re-unlock all the nodes. I wonder if you have to get 3 A's in the first page again. That would be so annoying. But you definitely have to unlock every single node for all 3 pages, and then you do the rolls. So it's a brand new terrestrial facility. Kind of up to you. Could come in handy, obviously, to have a PvP tree and to have a adventure tree, or to have a, I don't know, bossing tree and an adventure tree, and just say fuck off to the PvP part. Kind of up to you, but we'll see. And we have a quiz event, like the ones they did in the past. They will ask you some questions. If you get it wrong, they will just let you try again, and then you get it right. So it's kind of free stuff. Okay. Alliance mission event. Okay. The secret floor rate up for the buff. So we have better rates for Cell and Sundance. Melting Forge, Revolution Room. Okay. Pretty standard. Nothing too insane. Trust Facility preset is cool, but not all of that. Then we have the rerun of the campaign. So the Express Train campaign, fine. Spooky Festa, okay. The boss battle, Data Tower. So this is why we expect that unit to be XSR plus Jinsung, because there is a Data Tower. So one of the two is an XSR plus unit. The girl, we don't have anyone like her. I don't know why they went for Lopobia Rashud instead of going for Warian, like Red Witch Warian. Would have been perfect. She's a Red Witch, Red Witches in Halloween, perfect. And finally, SSR plus Warrior would have been amazing, but I mean, I'm not complaining about that unit. It is looking pretty fire. It's okay, but I would have preferred Warrior. That's all I wanted to say. Now we have the Champions Fight, Pumpkin Table event, okay? And the rerun of the train costumes, so for Jinsung and for SSR Hayura. Then we have yet another costume here for Yugo. There is no mention of Yugo, but looking at the head, basically same expression, same kind of hairstyle, different color, but she definitely can change that. Great skin, great skin. I'm going to buy it. There is no doubt about it. Fine, perfect. So let's end the video here, guys. And yeah, if you have any comments, any additional things you want to share, feel free to leave them down in the comments. In the next days, likely tomorrow, I will make a video about Eden, because I finally got him to Rainbow 5. He's a fucking monster, so great unit. And yeah, I will make a video about him to, I don't know, maybe showcase him, maybe talk a bit about him, and that's it. So yeah, thanks so much, guys, for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.